Hey, everybody. Welcome to Popular Unknown Paintball Live. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. How cool was that explosion? It's new. Now, I will be honest with you. That is not going to be the final explosion. I want it to be a little bit longer. So that will come out in a little bit of time. But I am very, very excited about it. This is 2021, babies. This is the new year. The chaos that was is over. Well, not completely. I mean, it's been a crazy day today in the news. But the point is I think that we're through the most of it. We're over the worst of it. And I think that we can all agree that from this point forward, no matter what happens, there's a light at the end of the tunnel and we can work towards making things better. So I'm really excited. And I'm sorry, guys. I got to do it one more time. I have to show off this new intro that I got from Lex Graphics. Like I said, we're going to make it a little bit longer, but essentially, this is my new intro video. So let's one more time, ladies and gentlemen. So good. I love it. All right. So welcome to 2021. Before I get into the whole show, I have to give a shout to Paintball Media Magazine, because in, I think it's 15 days, maybe 14 days now, the new documentary gets released on their Patreon account, which I am so excited for. How I narrated it. So I can't wait to see how it all turns out. But this is really going to be a good, meaty one. Not that I didn't like the history of paintball, but that was 6 hours long. And as much as I love paintball, that's a big pill to take in one sitting. So I'm looking forward to this because it's just much, much shorter. And then he's got 11 more documentaries like this coming out. And I'm narrating those too. So I'm really excited. And so I want to make sure I give a shout out to Paintball Media Magazine. And if you get the chance, swing over to their Patreon account. Every week, John Amadea is releasing full interviews that he recorded for the history of paintball and for the Jeremy Somm documentary and all the future documentaries. He's going to be releasing more and more information on a weekly basis. So swing on over there, swing on to Patreon, and help John and Amadea out. If you get the chance, as you can see below here, if you want to support this podcast and help me out, help me provide a better product for you, I would love it. I've got multiple tiers, stickers, t-shirts, check it out. You'll like it. I would definitely appreciate the help. On top of that, we have to give a huge shout out to Valken, but I'm not going to talk about Valken in my thanks, because that's pretty much going to be a lot of the show, because that's what my guest is. I've got Josh Silverman. Yes, the Josh Silverman. He now works for Valken. He's in behind the scenes. He's making great things happen. And so I had to have him on to talk about his new role in the company and everything that's moving forward. Shout out to Mac Dev. Great things coming from those guys. Shout out to Ultra Silk, obviously Push, Love My Mask, Combat Pursuit, My Home Field, Premium Paintball Products, the store I shop in here in Toronto, Virtue Paintball, and all the great stuff they do with the Ali Remembered Foundation. Gotta love Immortal Air, baby. Well, there it is. Gotta love Immortal Air, Transfuse, and last but not least, as always, Ali Remembered Foundation. I think those of us here at the Ali Remembered Foundation are really looking forward to 2021. We put a whole lot of plans on hold, and I can't wait to share them with you. So that is that. And we got a whole bunch of people talking to me here. It says, intro looks good. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Rob Walker says, Steve. So I'll go, Rob. Kevin says, what's up? And Lex, yes, thank you for making such a great intro. I love it. We've got Drew saying, Steve, glad to get my head out of the drama today. Me too. And Nima, hey, Steve. Hey, from Iran. I loved your article in Paintball Me. At least I believe that was you that wrote it. I read it quickly. And then hello, Kenny from the General Paintball Museum. Awesome. And Robert Hansen, AGD stickers on the way. Sweet. All right. So I wanted to get caught up with that. I know I'm talking really, really fast. I just don't like long intros. So I think I've covered everything that I need to cover. Let's get the guest on. I can slow down, stop sounding like I'm freebasing caffeine. And yeah, Josh, my man.
Hello.
I could see you in the green room laughing your head off at me.
Oh, I thought it was a great intro. What are you talking about? I'm a little biased, but I thought it was a great intro.
Well, thank you. And we got Jennifer Montressor. Hey, Jen, great to see you. And one of my biggest supporters, Sean. Great to Happy New Year to you too. So welcome to back to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Things have changed since the last time you were on the show.
Here and there, and
a little bit,
everything.
Like
a lot.
There's nothing about this show is the same. Nothing in your life is the same. You're not working for the same place. You're not doing it's been a roller coaster, but there's a whole lot of pluses.
I'm as blessed as can be, and if you hear me say otherwise, come over here and slap me upside the head.
So before we get rolling, I think you'll appreciate this. I was digging around. I was talking to Cliff, who was the man behind the Discipline Lords reffing team, right?
Absolutely.
And I said, well, maybe I'll wear my old jersey just because. So check this out.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Oh, hey, and Cliff's in the room.
Oh man.
I wasn't sure if you were going to be watching, Cliff, but I definitely wanted to break it out. Still kind of fits. It used to be really, really baggy, but at least I can still put it on. So
I feel like a lot of my shirts are defective that way.
Yeah, but check this out. So the jerseys were easy to get. The sweatshirts, not so much.
That's sharp. That's a classic, I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then, do you remember the monthly Paintball newsletter?
Of course.
So I was digging around. Can you read that? Man. This has seen a lot of play.
I will go out to the shed and start dragging Rubbermaid totes full of shirts out. Shirt flex on me.
Well, I tell you what we'll do is, if you want, we'll create a one-off show.
I like it.
I'll put an invite out.
Okay.
And we can all do a shirt flex. Maybe we'll get John Drescher. He can grab some of his jerseys.
Now, if he's coming, I'm going to be busy that day.
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody has their own different favorite parts of history. And
yeah, his collection is, when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's pretty second to none.
Well, that's true, but he bought a lot of them. These I earned. I'm not saying John Dresser isn't just the man, because he is.
No, I'm going to let you dig yourself out of this one.
There's very few people that can say been there, done that, because John Dresser can. But these are mine. You know what I mean? They may not be Ollie Lang's dynasty winning, Ironman winning, whatever. These are mine, and I'm proud as hell of them. So if you want to show something out, I'm just as excited about what's yours as what's people collected. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I'm still excited over that logo, that intro.
I think it's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Like I said, I'm a little biased, but I happen to like it a whole lot.
Well, I know a guy. His name's Lex from Lex Graphics. He'll make you one. He'll make Valken one too.
These are all good things to know. Never harder if you barter.
So anyway, moving on. So you started working at Valken now.
That's
when
right.
I met you at World Cup over a year ago, you were an ambassador for GI Sports. And I believe, I'm not sure if that's the exact word. Was that the exact title?
I was employed there.
Okay.
Yeah, and those were great times and great people, and I don't have the first bad thing to say about them.
No, of course not.
Not at all.
But it's paintball, and
COVID,
things evolve, right?
Absolutely. And this was a bit of a homecoming for me, truly.
Yeah. And Gino's amazing. Like, when you talk about the history,
I'll stop you when you say something wrong there.
I know. So when you talk about the industry of paintball, everybody always thinks Bud Orr, Tom Kay, Glenn Palmer, all of that, the creators. But everybody seems to miss the fact that there has to be somebody that gets the product from the manufacturers to the players. Now, Richmond Italia is a prime example of that, and he's behind GI and Diablo and whatnot. But Gino, he was National Paintball Supply, and he started the trend, started the change. Like, he did so many fantastic things, and I'm really looking forward to see how Valken grows from where it's at right now, because it's relatively a new company by paintball standards. Like, it's been around a while, but
Valken's been around a long time. It's just, this was an opportunity for Valken to expand and grow and reshape itself truly in a way that that he's shepherding us into a new era for the company and for the brand. And I'm just as thrilled as I can be to be a part of that. And I'm really looking, just like you, I'm looking forward to what the future holds for both the brand and for paintball.
Right. And that's my key point, is that I love what he's doing with the new web pages and the new outlook, because Valken, I mean, when most people think Valken, me specifically, you think about some soft goods, some markers, but the markers aren't usually typically the high end. You know what I mean? Not that there haven't been a few really wicked ones, but that's not normally what you think about, right?
Sure.
You normally think about just run of the mill paintball gear for the average Joe. That's
I would like to think you think graffiti paintballs, you think that Redemption Pro paintball,
right.
You think some of the soft goods, of course, the camo, the gear like that, and
right.
we do have a full line of that, and we're the type of people that we want to see people be able to play paintball with good equipment and do that affordably.
Right,
and that's a big part, I think, of how the sport grows, and that's a big part of the direction that that Mr. Poster Revo is taking the company.
Poster Revo, that's how you pronounce it. There's an ongoing joke with my friends in the podcast community.
Careful.
I'm not. I've said it live before. I'm going to say it again, and it's how do you pronounce his last name? I don't know. It's Gino from Valken, and that's just it.
And that's okay.
all you need to know.
That is just so okay with me. If it's not okay with him, he'll probably take it up with you, and that's okay too.
Well, you know what? If it was done from anything other than from a point of love, I can see him taking it up. But he's like, I think it's amazing. But what I really like about his new web pages is that, and I noticed this a little bit in the past, but not one to have to really go on the web page much.
Sure.
It really sunk in recently, is that he's not just the Valken brand. There's other brands on the page too.
Absolutely.
Like Push Goggles are there. He teamed up with Virtue. He teamed up. I saw HK Army in there. Like there's Dye in there. Like there's a lot of absolutely fantastic things.
Good brands, great people. There's room at the table for everyone to have a slice.
Right. You know what I mean? And that I think it's absolutely amazing. Excuse me. You got a compliment there from Henry Hank Emery.
Yeah, I thought he'd like it. I was hoping he'd come in. Yeah, the mags are kind of over that way. Yeah, they're okay. They're right. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know what the man's into. I know. I get it.
Yeah, and Kenny Stewart said you've got some beautiful Tippmans on the wall.
Thank you. The Tippmans are kind of a heritage for me.
Right.
And that if you had told me when I was, a young kid, when I had like my first 68 special or whatever, that, that I might get the opportunity to work there, would I have believed that? No. And I really did enjoy that time. And without Tippmann, where would the game be?
Right.
And, you have, no matter who runs what or who owns what, you have to give the respect for what was earned, and you have to give the respect and the understanding of the heritage and the history of the game. And Tippmann factors in so critically. How many new players, the first time they went to play, when they wrapped their hands around a paintball gun for the first time and felt that rush, what kind of gun was it?
Oh, absolutely. Like Tippmann or Brass Eagle.
Depends on where you were, who you are, where you went. But fact of the matter,
Yeah.
So that you can be respectful of the history of the brand and the product. And Tippmann's one of those that absolutely shaped what we know to be paintball.
So you worked at Tippmann? I didn't know that.
Well, Tippmann as under the GI umbrella.
Ah, okay, right. My apologies.
Not at all.
So I when I think of Tippmann, I think before they sold.
Well,
but
sure.
That's just
business is business. But like that's why I say, it almost doesn't matter to me, just for the simple fact that I can look at the history and the heritage of the company and the game and just be
right.
grateful for what they for what they put in and for how they help to move the technology of the game forward.
Absolutely. So what do you do with Valken now?
Well, Gino brought me aboard, and I wear a few different hats, mostly to cover up some of this. But no, fact of the hey, they're all right, good. I'm in good company. But no, the official title is paintball merchandiser, which generally I tell people that, and they say, okay,
stock
cool,
shelves.
What does that mean? Right. Which hey, you know what? To be involved with the game and the sport and the industry that I love, have I stocked shelves? Yes. Will I do it again? Yes. Am I happy to do that? There's a lot of people right now that would just love to have a job. So guess what? He could tell me, hey, shovel the driveway tomorrow. And you know what? I'm going to be out there because I have that opportunity.
Right.
And from time to time, stocking shelves, picking orders. Yeah. Last time I was in Jersey, that's exactly what I did, and I was happy to do that. But no, day to day, it's working with customers, making sure that people are finding the gear that they need, working on the new websites, which you've mentioned, which I'm sure we'll talk some more about.
I think we'll have to bring the website on. I'll bring it up and show it because I want to show some people off some things, but we don't do that in a bit.
And there might be some people that just don't know or haven't seen them yet. I'd love for them to have that opportunity.
Right.
And then anything that that generally needs writing. Most people who know me in paintball know me as a writer, and I do a lot of that. That's a day to day. And then anything that really has to do with in the trenches paintball on the websites to make sure that the information is there so that the customer can quickly and efficiently find their way to the right product for them. That's what I'm there for every day.
Right. Awesome. I'm sorry. I'm still looking at the paintball guns behind your head. So we're gonna jump off. We're gonna jump off talking for a second. Is that okay? So directly above your chrome dome, that one, yeah.
No, that's great. I appreciate that. Not really.
That
where
the one you're pointing at.
Oh,
the orange. Is it orange or red?
Red.
What is that?
Well, that's an EMAG.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the way I've got the mag wall set up is like I've got the sidearm over. Whoops, I've got the sidearm over there because it's a pistol, and I've got a whole pistol wall over there.
Right.
Then I've got.
Sorry, I'm blowing your picture up so I can see it better.
Glad I shaved and everything.
Yeah.
No, the mag wall is mini mag, then RT, then ULE, EMAG with the red ULE body, and then the X mag up there at the top.
All right. So of all those, which one's your favorite?
Oh, Jake over at the Bearded Works did wonders for me. I was talked into bringing the X mag back to life here recently.
Right.
My good friend Larry Motes, who was the man who owned the CFOA in the early days, the tournament series that I helped to produce.
Right.
And he's a mag aficionado, as am I. And he was like, why don't you use the X mag anymore? And I said, it's a piece of my history, and I like it right where it's at. And he's like, no, you need to shoot that thing. And so he talked me into it, and I sent that and the RT down to Jake, and he got them breathing and shooting and just spitting fire again. And did the feed neck mod for me on the X mag. I'm really excited to get that back out on the field. But to be honest, it's the RT and the mini mag would be my two favorites. The mini mag because when I was getting serious about tournament paintball in my area, that's what you needed to shoot was an auto mag.
Right.
My affinity for autocockers, Inception, and NFG, and all of that came later, much later, because I didn't know how they worked, and they intimidated me.
You're lucky you could make the transition.
Well, it came down to enjoying everything that paintball has to offer, and there's been such a renaissance in paintball equipment, and the RT simply because, man, when it came out, it was such a stir and such an excitement, and that was the gun that I played with competitively throughout when I was down in the Carolinas, going to college and working on Fort Bragg, and I had some really, really great paintball memories, winning and playing competitively and being competitive with some really amazing people behind an RT. So when I pick up that RT, all that comes flooding back.
Right.
So that's what that's all about.
I feel the same way when my 97 autococker comes out of the bag. Like,
Yep.
it's just that I am so connected to that gun. Do I have better guns? Yes. But that one holds #1 spot in my heart. And I don't have as many as you do, although I have quite a few, but they're definitely not displayed nice or
Well, when I moved here, I had to downsize.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, in the house that I had, when we bought our first house in Fredericksburg, I had a whole room that I could do, the whole one wall and then this wall and that wall, and I had the whole room done. And the deal was I got the sunroom to do that, and the wife Jennifer got the garage for her car, and I wound up with the garage too. It's a sore. I would, if she's watching, I'm gonna. You know what? We'll just move on. And when we moved here, I just don't quite have the room.
Right.
So I've got these guns here. I've got 5 or 6 walls here, and then over there, I've got the Angel, the Splatmaster, some Intimidators and stuff like that.
Right. Gotcha. So the RT and the Mini Mag are your 2 favorites?
Of the mags, absolutely.
No,
the E-Mag shoots great.
Just overall, like, is there just that one marker that just rings?
Oh, I gotta tell you, every one of them has a memory.
Like, when your time comes to pass, you get to take one in the coffin with you. Just one. Which one would it be?
Boy, you really put me on the spot with that one. It's a great question. I got to tell you, lately when I've played, my Inception Ripper,
that thing's sweet,
has been a mean machine. And Greg over at NFG got that thing tuned for me. That, Simon makes an amazing product,
of course,
and then Greg takes it and just creates a thing of beauty. That's just it's just this sewing machine of death. That if you stand in front of it, I'm just going to spin your goggles right off your head. And it's amazing to shoot. I mean, I exist only to move it from bunker to bunker. It does all the whooping for me. So I would probably take that one. But I got to tell you that this Eclipse EMAC I've been shooting lately too. Let me tell you what, for the price,
yeah.
Especially, you do the right mods. You put the Inception body on it, you get a barrel. Oh, for the money.
Those are, I shouldn't say those, but that is one of the 2 markers that I really want to get my hands on. Well, there's 3 now.
Okay.
I really want to get my hands on a well-tuned up EMAC, with a couple of the mods.
Next time we get together, shoot mine. I won't
give it back. You can get Simon to get you another one.
Those aren't the only guns I carry, though. We'll talk about it later. Yeah.
But I would really like to try an EMAC out, because I've heard nothing but great things, and I've heard that the front grip is really beefy.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I'm not sure how much I'm going to like that or dislike that. I just really want to try one, but they also look like they have a 45-ish frame.
Yep.
And I really like that. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to trying one eventually. Maybe some of the people at Planet Eclipse will hear this and send it out to me so I can extol its virtues. But I figure so many people that are better than me love it already that they couldn't give a crap about my opinion.
The fact of the matter is, for the money, man, what a great product. What a great way to let people fall in love with the game at an affordable price. And that was something that I loved about the older days of paintball, was that when you bought an automag out of the box, you had an automag, and you had a long way to go with it to make it your own. An autococker the same way. Like I remember walking into paintball stores in the old Pebs, when he first really got his stores growing, different stores that I worked at. We had cases and cases and cases of autococker accessories, automag accessories, and you could take the base gun that was already a legend. It was already a proven tournament winner. And if it was just, I want it black with red, you got black parts and you put them on your gun. But if you wanted, I need a slicker, ram. I need a reg. I need a three-way. I need a feed neck. I need a back block. I need a bolt. I need an ASA. I need a rail. I need a trigger. I need to send it to Danny. I need to do this. I need to do that. It was a way for the paintball store to create income.
Yes.
And that was important to paintball. And
Yes.
it was a way for each paintball player to build something and make something that was truly their own. And that deepened their love of the game because they were invested
and connected.
Yep, precisely. And I see that with the EMEC today. I see that with GOG, with the enemies. I see that with Eclipse, with the EMECs, that you can start with a gun that is just fine, that already punches above its weight. And then, you go to Simon and you get a body, you get a feed neck, you get a barrel, you get a bolt, you get, a trigger. Right. And you add all these things. And the last time I played, it's what I shot. And, dudes are out there with Luxes and I'm like, get out. And, it's a remark. And, it's just a great, fun, light, accurate way to play paintball and do it your way. And I think that will really help people get invested in the game again.
I'm glad you brought up the enemy, because that was gun number 2 of the 3 that I wanted to talk about, because I look at them and all I can think of is the old Ion. Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
like I see that and that's what I think in my head. And the Ion, for what they were a fantastic gun, but at the time I didn't have a very high opinion of them because I had been spoiled at this level of quality and the Ion was somewhere down here. Do you know what I mean? Like they were fantastic.
They were perceived a different way. Yeah.
Yes. And that's not me putting them down.
Paintball was in a different place then too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. And so I looked down on them, but I shouldn't have.
The first time I saw one on a tournament field, it was an event that I was working, it was one of our tournaments, a CFOA event that I was running. And one of the contending teams for, several thousands of dollars that we were giving away at the time, these guys were shooting shockers and intimidators and DMs and whatever. The guy, one of the players on a seriously contending team shows up and he's got an Ion. And he went out there on the field and he caned people. And it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. And the other thing is that they were so reliable. I shouldn't say they were so effective and so inexpensive that you could buy 3 or 4 of them. And so if there was like a hiccup or something you weren't quite liking, you had a backup and a third and a third backup. Like, I mean, it was just like, okay, give it and go. And they could all be set up exactly the same.
Right.
And it didn't break your bank. So if you had a gun that was only working so, you didn't have, give me a gun. It was always just like, I got it covered. I got another one.
Yeah,
like,
just go grab one out of the bag and go play.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's very rare for a paintball gun to have a catastrophic failure without warning. Normally, things are working kind of wonky or kind of weird. They don't all of a sudden just go
bam. Right.
It's rare. It happens. Happened to me at World Cup, but it's rare. But yeah, I look at those and I wish that they'd made the enemies take an autococker thread the same way that Planet Eclipse did.
Well, they've got their own business. They've got their own, levels of marker, and they've got their own barrels and everything. And they can do things their way.
Well, no, they can, and I'm just throwing it out there. But they made the shockers take autococker threads. So the Lux and the enemy don't have autococker threads, but the shocker does. And I would love to see those have autococker threads.
Who knows what the future holds? That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last gun that I really want to try is the Valken M17. And I'm not saying that because it's a Valken, but Gino, when he was on the podcast, he surprised me with giving away an M17 to one of my lucky listeners, Brian, and so I'm looking at the pictures. The minute I give it away, I'm thinking, okay, I don't know anything about this gun. I don't know anything about MagFed.
But I kind of want one, yeah.
So I dove in and I just started researching it. And I kind of want to try one.
See, that's what that gun does. People who are, because let's face it, MagFed right now is this phenomenon within paintball that has grown so quickly with such a dedicated following of serious people that said, hey, we want, this is our brand, our style of paintball. And the rest of the paintball world, started slowly but surely to take that seriously. And it's become this rapidly growing segment of paintball that is super cool. And it can be tactical if you want it to be. It can be pump style if you want it to be, because there is pride in that in that one shot.
Yes.
And it's, are you playing it because it's affordable, because you like the tactical side, because you like whatever your reason, that's your paintball. And the M17 gives you a lot of firepower at a price that's pretty tough to beat.
Right.
And it's a great seller for us, because the thing just hammers paint, and it is just a great way to get into MagFed and fall in love with it.
Right.
And it's versatile, it's upgradable, it's reliable. Our tech support is there for it, and it's a special piece of equipment that it can grow with you. You can do the barrel, you can do the shrouds, you can do the sights and the scopes and the foregrips and the run a remote if you want to, or a small bottle if you want to, and just build it your way, and then just go and shoot people and love the game.
See, what I'd like to do with building it, and this is just me being me, because remember how I told you I like a 45 pistol grip?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the M17 has the Lone Star grip, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So I wish that some company, hint, 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 would start making 45 pistol grip adapters for Lone Star frames.
Lone Star. Oh, sorry. Spaceballs.
I know. There was actually a cartoon called Lone Star 2 that had nothing to do with Spaceballs, but moving on. But you remember how the old Indian Creek Designs, Pumas and Bobcats and whatnot, they had a Lone Star style grip, but they had a 45 grip coming off it. But it was still, it could take the M16 grip, or it could take the 45 grip.
I played with a Bobcat for a while back in the old days.
Yeah. I would love to get that, mate that to the M17, and then bottom line it, so I could just play like I would normally play with a paintball gun, except it's just mag fed as opposed to,
and then use a different, bigger bottle, and you don't have to worry about, that's,
not getting in clearance of the mask.
Sir, we're going to owe this guy a check if we do this now. It's going to be this whole thing. Did you sign a non-disclosure? Later, we'll talk after yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, I'd really like to see that happen, because if somebody could make a modification, like a grip that would come off one of those old school players like us, like, I mean, we can't stand a tank coming off the back because it comes up into our mask, and we automatically don't want to try it. We look at it, or at least I look at it, I'm like,
no, I get that.
I don't want it. Like, I want to be able to do this. I'd like to have that option to drop it down and use some of my own gear to put up to it. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing worse than running out of air.
Oh, that's there's nothing to me. There's very few things in paintball that I don't like. Like, I'm not a huge fan of getting shot, not a really big fan of losing, and then seeing a dude that I can't shoot, and him have no idea that I'm there.
Like, I'm
I'm
okay with running out of paint, because I know that I hammered on somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, I went through, I just spent everything, and I'm like, I'm done. Oh crap.
Go on.
Mike Myers, he did the spy.
Austin Powers. Yeah.
Austin Powers. Thank you so much.
Like quiet,
he did the photographs. It's like, no.
And I'm spent.
That was a long, hard pull for me to get to that.
But we got there. We got there together.
We did.
That's, and if that's not 2021.
Exactly. But I just like to see that. Plus, I'd like to get one of those grips from my old Bushmaster, Line SI Bushmaster.
Mine's right over there.
Yeah, I hate you. But is it a 45 grip, or is it the Lone Star?
No spot.
No, the Line SI Bushmaster, the grip frame. Yeah. Is it the 45 frame, or is it the Lone Star frame?
No, it's a Nelson grip.
Oh, okay, right. So
we'll talk about it. It's okay.
The previous one, I got you. No. I know which one it is. I got it. It just took me a moment. It's one of the older ones.
Yes,
I'm with you.
Just like the barrel on my Phantom, it don't come off.
Yeah, I remember those. I didn't like those.
You want to talk about an accurate gun?
Well, they were when the paint fit.
Well, but let me just tell you, let me just tell you that thing. Oh yeah, click clack, go get a hot dog. Click
Oh, yeah,
clack, go get a hot dog.
when I refed back when I was starting out to play, that was one of the upgrades. Everything was null spots, but they had a few Phantom SIs. Oh, sorry, not Phantom SIs. They had a few CCI Phantoms,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, when we'd go, the refs would go out to play occasionally. They'd be like, "Yeah, we don't need you. If you want to go join in on the game, grab a gun and go."
Yeah.
We'd be like, "See ya."
Yeah, right.
I'll take this. Thank you very much, because you're cleaning it later.
But that's fine. I'm not going to break any paint. Yeah.
So, we got Henry Hank Emery saying, so we heard Gino say something to Tom K the other week about a run of 5,000 auto mags. Any comment?
My comment on that, I wish.
Yeah.
I heard about that the same way everybody else did on the show,
And then after the fact, he upped the ante on my podcast discussion, and he upped it to 10,000.
All I'm saying is the man don't play. So nothing would make my heart lighter. It would bring a tear to my eye. TK is a man I'm very grateful for.
Right.
For his friendship and his welcoming me into the game.
Oh yeah.
When I was young, there were a group of people that helped me. If I'm anywhere in paintball, it's because of the people that were there when I got there, that were good to me.
Right.
That were welcoming of this young kid who had no idea what he was doing, who just kind of ping-ponged around in the game, and they welcomed me, and they gave me opportunities. And the man I'm working for now is one of those. Tom is absolutely one of those. And it would be a blessing to me to see him fire up the machines and bring us some mags. It would be a wonderful thing.
I will. He asked if he wants a comment. I will give you a comment, Henry, directly. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling everybody out there. When I did the article on the carbon fiber mag, the nail gun, in Paintball Media Magazine, by the way, that article sold out Airgun Designs. I don't know if you noticed, but everything that Tim Glavin had, like all the stuff he had to make guns, sold out after that article. And the price
you show some people who might not have known about it, something that sharp.
Yeah, and the price of auto mags went up 25% within a month.
You say, somebody owes you a commission.
Used prices went whoa. Anyway, so I had a long talk with Tom Glavin. I talked a bit with Tom K, and Tom K, to my understanding, no longer owns Airgun Designs. He only owns the rights to the names and the logos and stuff like that. But the actual business itself is no more. It is owned by two people, Dave, and I forget Dave's last name, and that's Airgun Designs. It's called Airgun Designs USA, and they are the people that order the valves to be made and certain parts. And then there's airgundesigns.com, which is a name of a company, and that is Tim Glavin, and he does a lot of the sales, or he does all of the sales. So Airgun Designs USA only sells to airgundesigns.com, and airgundesigns.com is the one that's Dave Zupan. Thank you very much. I'm not sure what Facebook user said Dave Zupan, but yes, Dave Zupan, thank you very much. He owns Airgun Designs USA. When Tom K closed Airgun Designs, I don't have all the details, but he was fairly disillusioned with paintball. He'd put his heart and soul into a few projects that failed.
Some of us were there.
Yep. But I mean, I'm not going to say anything to speculate. I'm just saying what little I know. You're all welcome to research it. But so Tom K left to pursue other things, and he's happy, chasing DB Cooper and Bones and creating Skynet drones and whatnot. Like
two favorite things, long ago and far away.
Yes. So Tom K is happy outside of paintball, but I think that he misses a lot of his paintball friends. And I don't believe for 1 second that Gino would drop a bombshell like that if he didn't mean it. So
all I said was the man don't play.
Exactly. So but all I'm saying is that Henry asked if I had any comments. So my comment is, if you do the mental math, 5,000 auto mags at $200 wholesale,
math is
which is
dangerous,
cheap.
though.
Pardon?
Soft math is dangerous.
Right. I'm just saying, at wholesale prices, assuming that a wholesale mag would be $200, and that's cheap, but just assuming that the wholesale price, 5,000 auto mags is over $1 million. I forget, like it's huge. And then to up it to 10,000, that is a significant offer. And if you watch the Christmas special, Tom K choked up a little bit when he was like, I think it got his attention, because how do you offer that much money and it not intrigue you? So I would.
It's not to the detriment of anyone who's involved with airgun design today, because they're amazing people. But you know what? Maybe we just love Tom.
Right. There's that too.
Maybe we just love Tom.
But we'd have to love the gun in order to sell it.
Absolutely. But I mean, look behind me. Love's not the issue either.
My point is, my comment is that I would say that there's maybe a 15% chance that Tom K comes back, because he's happy in the life that he's in now. But I think he misses his old friends. I think he misses his old family. And I think that that's a significant offer that would pay well and let him have a whole lot of fun in the process.
I've prayed for things that I thought were less likely.
Right. So if you want my comment, my guess, and this is just an educated guess from all the talking to all the different people I've done over the last year, or last 12 months, is that I think that Tom K misses his family, paintball family, and misses his paintball friends. I think he misses the fun that he had. And I think that offer got his attention, but I know that he left paintball for a number of reasons. And I know that he's very happy with the life he has now. So I'm saying 15% chance that brings Tom K back into paintball. That's just
probably guess. Not unfair. I wouldn't stand up and disagree with anything you said. I mean, you want to talk about love? I mean, I can literally look right across the room right now, and one of my old AGD training certificates is still on the wall, just because it's got TK's signature on it. That's the kind of stuff that means something to me.
Right.
And like I said, it would be a blessing to my heart, and I think to a lot of people's, because look at where the game, the industry, the sport are now. Thanks in no small part to the ICC, to Tim, to these to Tom Cole, to people who have fallen in love with the game again.
Yes.
It's a feel-good time in paintball. You see these events like, Rico's event in Florida, and the ICPLs and the ICC, and, these amazing things that are happening, and they're bringing some of the most remarkable people who've ever played the game back.
Right.
And that is causing so many people to look back more fondly on the game, fall in love with it again. And that is, how do you put a price on that?
I have a question for you, though. And it's how you just worded it, and how I think it seems to be the way everybody's looking at it. But, and bear with me.
Right.
When we started playing paintball, or at least when I started playing paintball in the late 80s, it was all about going out in the woods, getting in camo, hunting the other player, having a good time. Tournaments existed, but they were rare. They weren't the norm. And then tournaments then are nothing like tournaments now. Like nothing. And paintball started to explode. Like just explode. It hit that spot. And then in the 90s, you weren't allowed to wear camouflage during tournaments, and you had to come out of the woods and the reasons that they gave was that the field had to be balanced. It had to be perfectly mirrored, because a game could be won or lost on a coin toss, which on some fields that's not inaccurate. But I honestly believe that the reason they wanted to bring it out of the woods and onto the fields because it was easier to maintain, easier to ref, easier to control, easier from a standpoint of the producers and the creators and like the people in charge of the tournament. I think that a tournament on an airball field is easier, more visible than it is when you were playing in the woods. But I think that by doing so, it took a lot of the fun out. So with the whole mag-fed movement exploding, that is basically going back to the heart and soul of what paintball started as in the late 80s, early 90s, when everybody was just playing in the woods and having fun. It recaptures that one little spark in our hearts. So I'm wondering if, with the return of mechanical movement and with the explosion of mag-fed and the return to woods ball, are we bringing people back, or are people coming back because the game is becoming what it was? It got businesses and whatnot tried to change paintball, but paintball doesn't want to be changed.
The business of paintball, the concept of what paintball was a fluid, fluctuating, growing, and changing thing throughout its history, and critically through the 90s. And paintball, and Guy's absolutely correct. Absolutely, a big part of the aspiration for a lot of what's driven paintball's changes, especially on the tournament side,
Right.
was with the goal of attracting a television audience, becoming that true sporting event.
Right.
And that was the animus behind a lot of the changes that happened in paintball. Some of it was, can we improve paintball's image? Are we guys running around in the woods with guns? What's going on? Because there was a lot of pushback on paintball early on in its days. And I think what's most important about paintball now is that when you close your eyes and you think about what it was you fell in love with paintball, what excites that adrenaline, what gets your heart pounding about the game, there's something in paintball now for everyone.
Yes,
that
I
loves the
agree
game.
100%.
And and with me, it absolutely is woods ball. It absolutely is hyperball. It absolutely is Tin Man. It absolutely is creeping around at the thrill of that hunt, and
Right.
and the camaraderie of the team, and the experiences that you can't duplicate or replicate anywhere. The brotherhood, the family, and the opportunities to meet and know people from walks of life that you would never have met or never ever known or met or seen any other way or been exposed to, and the travel and all of that.
Oh yeah.
The fact of the matter is there were some glory days, some remarkable days in paintball for all of us, and many of those who are back in the game now who did leave it behind. Those were the days that they were in love with. But fact of the matter is, whether it be MagFed, whether it be 10 Man, whether it be Woods Ball, whether it be the NXL, whether it be regional tournament paintball in any of its guises form, 7-man, 5-man, split deck, X ball, call it what you will. There's something in this game for everyone to fall in love with, obsess over, be passionate about,
Yes.
and enjoy. And that's truer now than ever. And again, it leads me back to what do I agree with what you're saying? Absolutely. It's opposite sides of the same coin, is that the game has come full circle to something that we can all love.
Oh yeah. I'm just wondering if paintball's changing so players are coming back, or players are coming back and changing paintball.
It's and again, I think it can be both, and for good reason. I think a lot of paintball's pioneers who are still in the business of paintball, who made and created some of the great history of paintball, some of the amazing players who played it and did some of the most remarkable things on the field, the Iron Men, Aftershock, the All Americans, name countless teams.
Right.
Your Buds, Toms, Genos, name all of these people. And there was a thing in paintball that they fell in love with, that they're still in love with today, and that some of them fell out of love with and are back in love with today.
Right.
And did they bring some of that paintball back, or did paintball change and bring them back? It's debatable, but I think it's a little of both, and I'm okay with both of them, because I'm in love with paintball more now than I ever was. And
I am too.
I see this, and let me tell you this, if I may. The first time I went to Jersey after I was brought on board here with Valken, and I looked Gino in the eye when we were discussing future plans for what we could do for paintball and what Valken could be, and for what we want Valken to be within the game and the industry. There was a spark that I saw in him, an excitement, a fire, and a desire to better the game, to move it forward, to grow the game for the benefit of us all, that really excited me. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. And it's for paintball.
Yes.
And the fact that we can do these things and have these conversations with some of the all-time greats of the game, that the next time we go to a tournament field might very well be there and be playing. It's a special time.
I completely. I want to meet Nicky Cuba. I mean, I know I've never met the guy. I mean, all the players that I've really wanted to meet, but Nicky, like, Lasoya is one of my all-time favorite players, and like I've met most of my heroes. But I would really love to shake Nicky Cuba's hand, because that guy, and I know this is jumping completely off topic, but that guy was.
We're talking about paintball, I think.
Yeah, he was just like the cerebral. I want to say a cerebral assassin, but I'm sure that WWE has that copyrighted for.
They got to be careful.
Triple H, right? But he
was way bigger than me. I'm not going to call him anything. But you know, fact of the matter is, he's a remarkable person. He's a remarkable family man, and and a super successful star of paintball in paintball's most incredible times for a couple of different teams.
Yes,
and he's one of those people that when you talk about pretty special, remarkable paintball players, he's got to be on your list.
I just, that's one guy I would love to shake his hand to get a selfie with. Like, yeah, I'm hoping he's at ICC.
The paintball he played and enjoyed and cut his teeth on, 10-man, you know, ground zero, that kind of stuff. Guess what? Yep. It's back.
Oh yeah,
you can come play. You know.
Well, I know that there's a good chance that I'll be at ICC this year. I was supposed to be at ICC last year, but obviously didn't happen. But yeah, there's a really good chance that I'll be there this year. I know that Team Fox, which is Airgun Design's only sponsored team, I will be. I have a standing invitation to play with them as one of their alternates, and I may have a chance to play 10-man. Like Tim Montresor was going to set me up on a paintball team, and Jen Montresor, his Tim's mom, let it out of the bag that he was going to suit me up as an alternate for the Philly All-Americans.
Watch out!
Like, can you imagine say, hey, you get to suit up with one of those iconic teams? Now, I'm not sure if it was their first string or their second string. I don't care. It was all Americans, right? You know, and earn my number. I can't wear, like we were talking about this a little earlier, I can't wear a jersey that I didn't earn.
Sure.
I like the OG Ironmen were nice enough to give me a jersey to do some pictures and whatnot. And they were willing to put my name and a number that I wanted on the back. And I said, no, don't put my name on it. I didn't earn the jersey. If I suit up with you just once, like as an alternate or whatever,
no, I'm on the team. Yeah.
I will proudly wear my name with your patch. But if I don't earn it, I can't. Do you know what I mean? And the only reason why I even have that jersey is because it was a gift. Like there was a gift from the team. Right. Like if I was to go out to, I don't know when the next NXL event is, and I know that New York Extreme, they're selling their jerseys and name brands just to try to make money. I can't buy one because I didn't earn it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm funny that way, but
everybody funny. Now
too. So here's a good question from Sean.
Ooh.
And it says, I know that this has been covered in previous episodes, but how great would it be to bring back a new version of Skyball or a tourney in Disney televised with enough support to pay out winning teams covering more than just the paint that was wasted to win it?
Hey, it's not a bad point. I mean, let's face it. You think about some of the iconic places that paintball's been played in paintball's history. Man, walking into Skyball, walking into that Skydome for the first time, and seeing a paintball field on the floor, and looking up at this amazing place.
Yeah,
that's a moment that you want to talk about moments you'll never forget.
And that was also one of the moments that ruined it for everybody, for the potential for it to happen, because I was at the first few Skyballs. I wasn't at all of them. I think I missed the last 3, but doesn't matter. They specifically said, don't shoot the insert blank here. Don't shoot the ceiling. Don't shoot the whatever. And when we got there,
welcome to paintball, right? I mean,
in 1998, the very first thing that we tried to do was, can we hit the ceiling? And every
that's how paintball people think, man.
Like it just, it was insane. So,
oh, you can't take us anywhere. I mean, that's just numero uno. This coming from a guy who's run tournaments on public property, who's done these things.
Right?
It's like, come on, guys, can you just not, please? And it really doesn't matter what it is. We'll probably flip it over. We'll probably wreck it. We'll sit under it to avoid the sun. We'll flip it over. We'll pile our trash up next to it. We're a tough crowd to clean up and take anywhere, but
we're a tough crowd to control. It was the best, because, or I should say it was the best when I was at World Cup this year, because COVID be damned. When I was at World Cup, paintball players suds the fountain in front of
now hang on, let's be fair. That's tradition.
That is tradition.
That's tradition. That's important. It's not really super duper World Cup in proximity to Old Town, in proximity to the Gaylord, in proximity to any of those places if someone doesn't do the fountain.
Yes, but the fountain was done twice a day, every day.
I'm sticking to my guns on this.
I don't disagree, but it was constant. Every time we drove by, it was fresh.
Look, we have some proud traditions in this game, and
making jerks of ourselves.
I would hate to have to put an asterisk next to the World Cup just because somebody didn't put some Tide in the fountain, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking big picture historically here.
Right.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Oh no, I totally agree with you.
That guy, man.
I totally agree with you. But my point stands. If we do crap like that, it's not like Texas Stadium is going to be like, "Come on in." You know what I mean?
Well, that is, we don't tell them we're going to do this stuff. We do it and then we leave.
But we have traditions, right? It's just sort of like, all right, what are these guys doing this time?
It's a different world now, I mean, let's, a little bit of the pink paint might be tough to get out of things nowadays, but fact of the matter is, the paint washes out now, man, and we're, and again, we're a little bit of a different group of people now. Some of us are a little bit older, a little bit wiser. Some of us a little bit older and not any wiser. Some of us just older. And what was I saying? Oh yeah. And fact of the matter is, I think Sean makes a great point. Would it be amazing to see us back, at Disney? Would they have us? I don't know. Would it be worth the money it would cost? I don't know. Skyball the same way, these amazing venues, but would it be beautiful to have an event there that, maybe we could get some sponsorship, be successful, award the winning team something, some remarkable prize, we used to give away 5 cars.
Yep.
Anything is possible. When we come out of whatever the heck this is that the world is doing to itself, paintball has been blessed enough to stay pretty strong through this mess.
Yes.
And I think that's a testament to the love of paintball for each other and for and just for the opportunity that, that people had to experience paintball in a time when it was really tough for them to do anything else. And can we use that as a springboard to be bigger, to be a better version of ourselves? I'd love to see that. And
Well,
could a skyball be part of that? I don't see any reason why not.
Well, I will be honest, and I know that the project got canceled, and I was a little bit involved with it, not a lot, but somewhat. And I will flat out tell you that there was a group of about 4 or 5 people in the works, and we were working towards creating another skyball type event in Detroit.
Really?
So talks had started, and COVID happened.
How many things can you say that about? I mean, hell, this time last year I was running a body shop.
Yeah.
The whole Jeep thing. And there again, this wonderful blessing came to me.
Right.
In a difficult time, and it led me to a remarkable place. But COVID just threw a curveball at everyone. Some obviously more than others.
Yeah. Well, I've been unemployed for a year now. Over a year now.
We all bear various crosses, both from this and before this, and will after this. But
right.
The fact of the matter is, paintball's in an interesting place. Is that in that it's providing something for people that you can't go. Some people can't go to the movies. You can't go to a restaurant. The trip to Disney World that you took every year with your family, you can't take.
Right.
But you know what? You can go play paintball.
Yep.
And that's
depending on where you are.
Right.
You can't do it in Canada anymore. That with the way things have skyrocketed, they've changed it, and paintball is just people just don't care about it enough. Like, it depends on what country you're in.
Sure.
I know down in the States, paintball is a lot of blind eyes being turned to it because it's not that big a sport. It is outside. There is a certain amount of social distancing. I mean, you can't make people stay away from you more than shooting at them. Do you know what I mean?
How about that?
It's like the ultimate COVID game.
Right? Get away from me or I'll shoot you. But no, fact of the matter, there's been some principalities, some localities, county states that have listened to paintball businesses and been willing to understand what we are.
Right.
And that's been wonderful to see and hear. And that's enabled those businesses to be open, stay open, to pay their employees, to feed their families.
And thrive because there's not a whole lot of options.
Right. And most importantly, though, to feed the families, to keep the businesses and the jobs and the wherewithal and the well-being of people afloat.
Right.
And we've been able to do that while balancing the understanding of the seriousness of COVID and caring for people's health, doing the things that are necessary to keep a place of business safe so that people can safely enjoy paintball.
Right.
And that's that in the midst of this terrible thing that's happening in the world, that municipalities, localities, state governments have been willing to stop and take a second look at businesses that are saying, please let us be open, and saying, you know what, we're looking at what you're doing, and yeah, go ahead, switch the sign back on. That was good for my heart.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot of people that, that are working and able to feed their families today, thanks to that. And I'm grateful for it. And, now it's just a matter of us doing the right things for our game, for our industry, and for the customer. That's the most important thing, that we take care of these people that are trusting us, not just with their business anymore, but with their health.
Yes.
When they come to play paintball.
Right.
And so it's important let's talk about Valken. We'll talk about it's important that we take that into account when we serve both the retail customer and the field operator, the store operator, that we give them what they need, how they need it to operate their businesses and navigate through these very strange times. And that we're even getting the chance is a blessing.
Yeah. And you guys took this opportunity to restructure too, to a degree, and create the web page and web pages, plural, because it's very important that I point out, as a Canadian, you guys made sure that there was Valken.ca, not just Valken.com.
Right.
And there's also a European one, though I don't know much about that one myself, because doesn't affect
No,
me.
it's there. Trust me.
Oh, I know it's there. Actually, you know what I can do?
Uh-oh.
Hold on one
I
second.
mean, you can do all sorts of stuff. I mean,
I can do. I am a
what I heard.
wizard. So I do this, and I want to share a Chrome tab.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm willing to take your word for it.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Look what you did.
Right? You'd almost think I was prepared or something.
Watch out.
All right. So this is awesome.
We're looking at the Valken.
Yeah. Now, all right. What I like here is right here, there's this drop down. So you've got USA or you've got Canada.
How about that?
And this is our own Canadian company, Valken.ca.
Yep.
And then there's the European one as well, which is Valken.eu.
Yeah, we do that. That's right.
Which I think is amazing. Now, because I'm Canadian, I'm going to stick on Valken.ca. But before I do, I have to point out, I like how that right here in the nice big letters says free shipping on orders $19 plus. Is that your idea?
No, I can't claim. Well, to be honest, I can't really claim anything brilliant ever. But at least like in public, people will call me out on that kind of stuff. Fact of the matter is we just times are crazy for people, and if you're willing to spend money with us to go play paintball or play airsoft or whatever it is that you're willing to do that we can help you with, right, we want you to have your gear, and it's really just that simple. You're our customer, and there's really nothing more sacred or more important, especially now. If you're willing, with the craziness that's going on in this world, whether it be COVID or the political, which I'm not even going to touch, close to DC as I live. Close to DC as I live. Right. Fact of the matter is that people are willing right now to trust us with their business and their money. That is important. It is sacred. It is to be respected. And it is to be served as best as we possibly can.
And what I'm loving is I'm actually on the Valken page. And like we talked about before, people automatically assume Valken with Valken products. But here I am on the Valken page, specifically on the paintball. And what do I see? I see dye goggles. I see dye rotor. I see dye marker. I'm, and then up here, if we go into it, you have your, obviously Valken paintballs. But when you go into goggles,
click around, go for it. We like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've actually got a section here specifically for paintball for kids, which I love. But I mean,
talking about products I really love and I'm excited about that's in our lineup. The gotcha gear is awesome.
But like right here in the mask, you've got all the dies, but now you've got HK Army, you've got Virtue, you've got the Push Skull. Oh, that's out of stock, but you've got the Push Classic, and I am just absolutely loving this, and I'm not saying this because you guys are helping out my podcast and advertising with me. I am not saying that because of that. I'm saying this because I literally love this. Well,
there's a lot of great product out there. Push makes an amazing pair of goggles. HK, come on. The dye goggles are remarkable. There's there's great paintball out there, no matter how or with what that you want to play it. And if we can bring it to you, well, we're gonna.
Yeah, even the Field Force one's in here. I forgot. I didn't notice that.
That's a proven winner.
What? Yeah, but that's just awesome. That's just awesome.
We're just trying to check off as many boxes for the customer as we can.
Right. So, but anyway,
paintball's a gear culture. Let's face it. Half the fun of the game is to dig around in your gear bag and have something cool. And it's an expression. It's an extension of a person's individuality and who they want to portray themselves as on the field. And the more options we are able to provide to a customer to do that, at the end of the day, the more fun they're going to have and the better time they're going to have. And that's, we really do need our paintball players to love the game and come back.
Right. Actually, you probably can't answer it, but I have to give credit to Hank Emery. Any word on stuff from Eclipse?
We have that.
You have?
We have that.
That's right, because you had the Emacs, right?
Right. Amongst other things, absolutely.
Yeah, so you're going to have to, Henry, you're going to have to go, actually all of you, you're going to have to go around and look around the Valken website, because I spent a little bit of the time on it today just because I wanted to be prepared when I talked to you. And obviously I missed the Field Force one. That was just, because that gun's wicked. I was playing with one when I was in Denver because to hell with COVID. So when I was at Denver for the Ali Remembered Foundation's charity event and fundraiser, I got to horse around with one of those Field Force ones.
They're a machine.
That thing is a machine and a half. But for everybody that actually wants to check out the Valken, okay, you guys got to check this out. So there's Valken.com, or in Canada, Valken.ca.
Now it's getting personal.
But if you you have a one-time discount code of 10% if you enter my last name, McGuire, and then 10 for 10%. So if you are going through Valken.com or Valken.ca and you see stuff that you want, fire that McGuire 10 in and get yourself a nice big discount. So I highly recommend buying the most expensive things you can and maximizing that profit because it's one time.
We just want everyone to take a look at what we have to offer, what's new,
right,
and see what we're up to. And you know what, if we can welcome new people to the family with a little taste of something special, come on down.
Right.
Simple as that.
But I mean, and get a discount. Like, and support my podcast, because if you guys go in, like I've put a link in, but if you guys go in under that number, people see that they came from me, and maybe I can work out more giveaways. Maybe Gene will be happy to
talk about it.
Pardon?
I told you we would talk about it.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe I can if I generate more hype.
You're doing just fine.
But
we're happy to be here. We're happy to be working with you. We're happy to be associated with you. You love paintball.
Right. We love paintball. I do.
And it comes down to just good people got to help good people. That's what I'm all about. Whether it was in the auto body business, whether it was paintball before, whether it's paintball now, what it's all about is just good people. And if that's what my 2021 can be about, giving back a little bit or a lot of it, and doing whatever I can, however I can. A very wise man once told me, he said, Josh, if you can, you really should. And after what the whole world has been through, you know, if we can remember how to give in 2021, if we can, you know, because I think in 2020 took because we forgot how to give, and it hated because a lot of us forgot how to love, and it hated because we forgot how to love. And I think if we all try to be maybe kind of good to each other,
right?
And that's, you know, that's not just in paintball, but I can make it work in paintball all day. You know, we can be good to each other, and we can help the game grow, and we can help new people enjoy and experience the game and fall in love with what we fell in love with. And let's do that. And genuinely, at the end of the day, that's what I'm about. And for people who don't know me, you don't have to believe it. You know, call my bluff.
Group hug.
Amen.
Sorry, I just had a little fun.
I saw it. I was like, who said that? What? Man, I'm on the thing here, man. What do you? I'm doing this. Can you anytime but now? Leia. Yeah. Well, Leia Silverman, ladies and gentlemen.
Which what?
That was Leia the cat.
Ah, named after princess?
Yes. Yeah. Well, we had two girl cats and the mom that we found under the shed when I was clearing some family land, and we had to figure out what to name them. And Jennifer came up with, hey, we need some movie names for these girls. You know, and it was what we had two girls: Leia, Rey, Padme. I know, but they just pretty much come around. They don't care what their names are. They're cats. They do what they want. And
so in 2020, business aside, personal life, just paintball playing experience.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to the most? Like what, like if you've got to move mountains and earth, or oceans and earth, or oceans and whatever.
I've got a tractor. I can move whatever you pretty much, you know.
If there's something that you really want to make, like Iron City Classic, World Cup, whatever the case may be, is there something that you are really looking forward to playing this year?
You know, I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. But no, I'm looking forward to so many places and things
Right.
in paintball this year. Blue up at EMR, for the big shindig that he has been talking about on his social media, to go to play EMR at the castle, the legendary castle.
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah, and
I've
I
done
mean,
that
there's
in this
nothing,
shirt, to be precise.
right, and there's nothing like that in paintball. And Ion, let's talk about Ion. 4,000 or 5,000 people just blasting each other.
Do you think 4,000 or 5,000 people is going to be allowed this year?
I can't speak for that. Skirmish has carved its name into the stone of paintball's history, and I hope so for them, because they put on an amazing show, and I would like nothing more than to see them just overflow that place. Will it be healthy and safe enough to do that? I genuinely hope so.
Right.
ICC, you got to say it. You have to say it. First serious tournament I played in, 15, 16 years was ICC last. And an ardent supporter would be putting it mildly. An appreciator of what it is, what it's become, and what it's done for me. I told Tim right to his face, you gave me my paintball back.
Yes.
Fell in love with the game again because of that event. And, and then, Michael and the guys, Northwest Road come to me and they're like, hey, gear up. And I'm like, for what? And I go and I play and I have an amazing time, and I got shot a lot. But no, fact of the matter is, those are incredible experiences, and everyone loves. You want to talk about a feel-good event? My friend Chris is putting together Bunker Fest down in Texas,
right?
Yes, that's going to be something special, I think, that he's doing for a lot of really cool reasons. And Chris and I go back a ways, and if he's got something going on in paintball, I'm going to support it. So I'm excited for that. The ICPLs. I can list 50 of them if you want me to.
I can list like a bazillion that I want to go to.
Yep.
Like, it's sort of like, okay, damn it, these all fall on the same weekend, and these fall on the same weekend. It's
only
like,
so many weekends in a year, right?
I hate you. Like, you know what I mean? But and that's got to be the worst thing about the position that I'm in right now.
We got to get you to a Fulda Gap.
There's only one left, right?
We got to get you to a Fulda Gap like scenario, because you want to talk about a place that will challenge you to play, and it'll challenge how you think about paintball, and it'll challenge you physically. And
I don't need the physically part.
I don't either, but I mean, but you want to talk about an incredible place to play paintball, a beautiful setting to play paintball in, with some awesome, amazing people down the Carolinas.
What we need to do then for Fulda is I'll have to take off my Popular Unknown cap. You take off your Valken cap.
Okay.
We'll get Amadea, and we'll all go out in paintball media caps. And the three of us will work as a little unit, and we'll do something cool. That would be something else.
I'm in. I mean, see how easy that was? Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
We just got to convince Amadea.
He'll. You know what, man? He lives 20 minutes up the road. We'll go up there. We'll talk to him. It's not even.
Not we. I live more than 20 minutes up the road.
We'll plan it out. We'll get you down here, and we'll go over there.
Oh! I'm not sure who said this, but we'll get you a nice lawn chair and a big bunker.
That's right. Hey, it's.
For the record, I am not an e-celebrity, and I do not plan on spending my whole time in the parking lot.
Hey,
when I come to play.
At Fulda, even the parking lot is an incredible time. Everybody camps. Everybody has an amazing time. Everybody sits around the campfire, and it's in the hills of the Carolinas, and it's just, oh my gosh, you can't say enough about it. So do it, is what I'm saying. Do it.
Oh, it says it's me, Muncaster.
Oh jeez. Okay.
Jay.
Look, of course.
Speaking of, we said Skyball, and he had to come running.
And that's okay.
For those of you that don't,
who's earned that.
Yeah. So for those of you out there that don't know who Muncaster is, that is Jay Muncaster, and he was one of the 2-3, depending on who you're talking to, one of the 2-3 originators of Skyball, and he was one of the
I mean,
two main guys behind Focus International Paintball.
amongst other things, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's part of Chop Shop now, and he's does so many other things. But his biggest claim to fame is probably the Skyball series.
And it's talk about people that it's good to have back.
Yes.
There's another.
Yes.
Perfect example.
Good Canadian boy too,
Not
by the way.
Saying that because he's in the room, say that right.
But we've got some huge people. We've got Guy Cooper. Oh, that's the wrong one. We got Guy Cooper.
Talk about somebody who's instrumental in the history of the game.
Right, and still the owner of the largest collection of paintball memorabilia as far as books and magazines. Like, I mean, Amadea is close, but it's my understanding that he's got stuff that even Amadea doesn't have.
Guys, he's put his time in.
Yeah, and then we've got
onto a lot of it,
And then we've got Richard Wilcox mentioning the Worldwide Cancer Event that's happening this fall. Richard Wilcox, team captain of Dogs of War, and instrumental with regards to Iron Men and Diamond, the Northern California paintballers back in the day, like huge. You know what I mean? So
I keep saying it, man. Good people is good people, and they're coming back around, and it's just a feel good thing, man.
Yeah, but so you tiptoed around my question. I asked you if you could name one that you're really looking forward to. You just fired lots out. Just wondering if there's one that's special.
I mean, look behind me. It's hard to pick one. I just enjoy the game. But man, you know what? I was so excited when I saw Blue hop on his Facebook and was like, "Hey, we're gonna get the band together, and we're gonna shoot it up at EMR, and you know what? I'm gonna be there." So that's definitely cool. Right up there.
I love EMR. Do you think it's going to be so busy? I wonder how hard it would be for us to get our own bunker. Like you, me, Amadea, maybe a few other guys.
What did you have in mind?
Well, you know what the bunkers are, right? How they've got all the bunkhouses?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine?
There's a real nice hotel, like right down the street, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I get that. But in my travels,
bro, I bought a camper, man. Come on, you seen it on my Facebook.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. But in all my travels, I think that the EMR's bunkhouses are one of the coolest things I've ever come across in paintball.
That's part of the reason you go to EMR, is really to experience everything that place has to offer, and that is part of it.
It's just, yeah, I just think it'd be cool to have like a bunkhouse with a whole bunch of old school paintballers all together.
All we would do is talk, though, bro.
Yeah, probably true.
I mean, eventually we'd get around to going and shooting something or someone or whatever, but all the stories, my God, I mean, there just isn't enough beer in the world. Or maybe there is, and there's only one way to find out. I don't know.
Gotcha. All right, so we got. I'm just trying to read here. We miss you too, Frank. There's so many people that didn't give StreamYard permission to access their Facebook account so that we can.
Supposed to do that?
Well, some people are.
Oh.
That's how we've got some people that are saying, like Guy Cooper here,
right?
Creditor Ross Alexander changed the name War Games to Paintball.
Ross, another great one. Yeah, how about that?
Absolutely. But I mean, he gave it, but then I have other people. It's like whoever this person that says "Miss You, Jay Muncaster" didn't give their name. So when I go to share them, I can't
feel good thing, man.
I don't know who it is.
To be missed.
So yeah. So we have been live for almost an hour and a half, and we have talked about some pretty amazing things.
There's a little clock right there. Check that out.
Yeah. But I mean, we covered what Valken's doing. We've covered some of our loves for 2021. We covered this.
Boom! There.
That I've got a discount code for Valken.com and Valken.ca, maybe even Valken EU, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But any of you out there in Europe, feel free to give it a try.
You're gonna crash this thing, man.
Let's crash it. But yeah, one-time purchase, 10% off anything in Valken, and that just share that with everybody.
Y'all just take it easy.
But is there anything that you want to cover? Like, I mean, I've basically taken control here.
Come on, this is your show, man. I'm just happy to be here. We're happy to support it. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's, come on, it's paintball at the end of the day. I'm enjoying myself. I'm blessed to have what I have. I'm blessed to be where I am. I'm blessed to be with who I'm with, and to have a few minutes to talk about paintball with some other very special people.
Well,
I'm having a blast. So you know what, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it.
well, but it's not just that. Like, and I've said this once, I've said this 1,000 times, so you're all gonna have to just suffer through me saying it again. Nobody watches this show for me. They just don't. They watch it for the passion of paintball that I bring to the show, and they watch it for the passion of my guests, and they watch to learn more about the guests. But I am not
I am passionate.
right. I am not that interesting when it comes to paintball on its own. So nobody watches this show for me. I am not an e-celeb. I just bring interesting stories to light, and that's what everybody's here for.
It's okay to just love paintball and just be excited about paintball. It really is.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, Matt, looks like I'm getting some new Valken gear.
See, this guy, he's on it.
Right? And
That's
that works. And that works in Canada and the United States for sure. Maybe Europe, no promises.
There's people north of the border that like super really do play paintball. So we figured.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Yeah.
And we got this is a thank you to you. Thank you, Joshua, for your support and our support.
It's not, I appreciate that. And thank you. But as a guy, I'm 41 years old. I started playing paintball when I was 13. And it truly, really shaped my life. I probably already said it on the show. I'll say it again. Yeah, he's you got a local one there.
He's out by the Big Nickel.
But fact of the matter is,
where
would I be without paintball? I don't know. I went to
probably have more money.
I went to school.
A little more hair.
Oh God, it would all still be darker, I think. But no, honestly, I'm so truly and wonderfully richly blessed to have had the opportunities I've had in paintball, because like I said, I was studying to teach history and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. And then the opportunities happened. I played for a while and then it was, hey, do you want to write? Yeah. And, action pursuit games and paintball, raining at Paintball News. Jess and Dan and the gang at APG, and John Amadea and Pev at PCRI, and Pevs, and all the different things that he's done over the years. And I appreciate that too. It shaped my life. Look at what I've got. Go take a second if you really, and scroll through my Facebook and look. I got some paintball gear, yeah, but I met my wife because of paintball. I'd have never lived in Myrtle Beach and met this remarkable woman whom I love without paintball.
Right.
And
even if she does steal your hats.
And I agree with Kenny too. I would have never met her. And the hat thing, we're gonna hold on to that, because we're gonna oh good Lord, look who it is.
Right?
Oh my God. Speaking of others that are a blessing, but no, jobs, careers. I ran a body shop for 10 years because of paintball. Are you serious? I'm as blessed as could be, and I'm eternally grateful for the opportunity I have with Gino, for the years I spent at GI, for the years I spent at PGI Magazine, for the years that I worked with John at Paintball 2 Extremes, for all of it. For the years I spent at Pinocchio, for when I worked at Stiffy Barrels, the CFOA, all the people that I met down south that were good to me and gave me some experiences that I'll never forget and I'd have never experienced any other way. I learned a trade, learned a career, and made it this far, really because of paintball. And the responsibility that I feel to return that love and to give back as much as I can every single day because I know how blessed I am. I carry that like a bag of bricks over my shoulder every day because I really do love the game, because the people in the game loved me and gave me these remarkable opportunities. And, that's just what it is.
I know. I agree with you 100%. Although I haven't had the same volume of opportunities that you had, I've still had more than my fair share. Like, I mean, I just played World Cup, baby.
How about, hey, come on. The future is yours to write with what you created for yourself, Steve.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at what look at what you've accomplished. Come on, let's not make this about anything, let's not belittle what you've done and what you are doing here. Because what you are doing is good for the sport and you do love the game. And look, Allie, remember, come on, the foundation
Yeah.
with what you and Andy, come on. This,
Yeah. No,
the
like,
right things for the right reasons for the right people. You heard me say it before. It's about the good ones.
yes.
A good tree doesn't bear bad fruit, man. I believe that. I operate in that.
Right.
And I try to walk in that. And
Right.
so, when good people need help, you help. When good people are having a good time, we can have a good time together. And there's a good time in paintball right now, and we can be good to each other, and we can make 21 a real special place.
I really think we can, and I honestly think with 2020 happening the way it is, my prediction for 2021, assuming that we get through the worst of it, especially with the vaccines coming out, hopefully they work well, yada yada yada. We'll keep all the politics out of it. But I really think that come spring, when those of us on the white stuff, everything thaws out, and the opportunity to play comes around, the opportunity to do more things come around, I think that you're going to see people helping each other more. I think that we're going to be seeing more people eager to play and appreciate and respect each other more and just be thankful to be with each other. I really expect Thanksgiving this year to be iconic. Like, we've all gone, like, I mean, everybody that can hear my voice and see my eyes and yours, everybody is going to appreciate life and what's around them that much more because we've had to go without for so long. Will there be changes? Absolutely. But I think there is so much potential for this year just because of how horrible last year was. Now, I'm not saying that when you change your calendar, life changes like that. It doesn't. Like, there's still all the aftermaths and the aftershocks, and that's nothing against the team, but just everything coming out that we still have to get through. But I think with the vaccines and understanding, and I just think that there's so much potential for such a great year and great things to happen. I'm really looking forward to the year.
We've got an opportunity to be better to each other.
Absolutely.
What you're saying. That's what
Yes.
I take away from what you said. And can we, all I'm saying is, let's do that. We can do that in all our walks of life. We can do that all over the place. And, you can bet I'm going to do it in paintball because that is my walk of life.
Right. Absolutely.
But you know what? Come try me if you don't believe
it. Step up.
I'm just saying, give me a chance.
Come at me, bro.
I'm gonna take care of you. If I've got an opportunity to do right by, I'm gonna do it.
Awesome. Well, speaking of M17s, by the way, I don't know whose idea it was for those Valken 4-packs, but that was brilliant.
I got to tell you, what a product, right?
Like, I haven't had, like, all I've seen is pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So I hesitate to say it's like the best thing since sliced bread because I haven't actually had my hand on anything. I haven't had my hands on them, and I don't want to lie to you. But the idea of being able to get a 4-pack pod pack for $20 for just people to play.
They were coming around, they were coming down right as I was brought aboard.
Right.
And you want to talk about the light bulb, just bing, I was like, oh my gosh, these are going to be ridiculous, just because of, and it's products like that the future holds for us, and some other things as well. So we've got some really special stuff that obviously you'll be seeing here, when we can. But that's a great example. We can bring a product to market at a great price that does a great job, that's reliable, that's simple, that's affordable, that just lets you play more paintball, man.
Right.
And that's what it's all about.
Well, my go-to rec pack up until recently, because I really enjoy that Zodiac pack that I got.
I've got one of those. They're great packs.
That thing is just wicked and quiet. But I've had a Valken pack as my go-to pack. Like, it only takes 3 pods, and I cut all the elastics off just so that I could flip it upside down, and you know what I mean? Because it's a rec pack, right? And I bought it used for, I don't know, $15, I think it was. Like, it was just a little beat up pack, but it was solid.
And you still put miles on it.
And I just started cutting the stuff off that I didn't want. I modified it to the way I liked, so I could play with it, and it has been one of the best packs that I've ever owned. Nothing will be better than Unique, period. Rose was the woman. But yeah.
To talk, yet another one of those special people, who really did something remarkable in paintball. Rose was one of those. And I mean, I've got a couple of her packs out, right now. I could break them out, gear up, and go play, and they'd be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friend. Is there anything that you want to touch on that we didn't touch on?
Oh Lord, this has been great, and just like I said, just the fact that that we are doing some really special things at Valken, and everyone is welcome, and come take a look at what we're doing, because I think you're going to like it. We've got something for you. Whether it's paintball, whether it's airsoft, we've even got some defense protection items on there.
Right.
And in these strange times, you just never know.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, we've got some great brands that aren't all Valken, like you pointed out. We've got some great product. Is there anything you want me to call up? I can always call the screen back up. You know what? You've shown everybody where to find it. They're gonna go and look for themselves now that they've got a code.
Yep, this code right here, Valken.com,
again, everyone.
Or in Canada, Valken.ca. You got a discount, 10% off if you use my last name, and 10. So right 10
up there on the screen.
Yes.
So, fact of the matter is, come take a look. Everybody however you play the game. If the paint's flying, we want to be a part of it.
Awesome. All right, my friend. Well, I'm going to shrink you down. Or I'm going to remove you from the screen for a bit. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and let's call it a night, my friend. But it's great to having you on.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you so much. Talk to you again soon.
I look forward to it.
All right, everybody. That is my show for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. Before we go, I have to show off Lex's the new intro that I have that Lex made for me. Check this out. This thing is just amazing. So if those of you that came late, I mean, how awesome is that? That is my new intro. Now, it's going to be stretched out a little bit longer. That's not the final incarnation, but that's basically what it's going to be. I just want it to be a little bit longer. And how great was it having Josh on again? Before, when I had him on last time, all we were was audio. So it was kind of nice to have him up showing off everything, and just, yeah. And I'm really excited what Valken has in store. And I'm not saying that just because Valken helps me out. I really am excited for what they're doing, how they are embracing other companies, bringing it in, helping marketing sales. So again, one last time, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you go to Valken.com or Valken.ca, there is a one-time discount code. If you type in my last name, McGuire10, you'll get 10% off once, like a one-time purchase. You'll get 10% off your order. So please use that and save a little money, because that's just awesome. And yeah, so that is my show for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining in. As always, keep your paint dry and play with passion, everybody. Talk to you next week.